Spook. Here's the place to be. Hey, would you soften up on that piano playing up there? That's old Roscoe, the Royal Oak Ghost, pounding on that keyboard. Must think everybody's dead. Well, anyhow, welcome to old Tucson Studios soundstage. My name's William Bailey, and I'm the resident bartender here at the Royal Oak Saloon. This old bar's been here for years, and I've been here right along with it. What I aim to do this morning is to give you a quick behind-the-scenes look at some of the people in the movie-making business I've known over the years. Maybe along the line to give you a taste of the real magic of Western movies. Hey, will you please be quiet up there? Some people. Well, as I was saying, I've been around here a long time. And being around here a long time, I've learned a thing or two about the movie-making business. You see this mug of beer here? Well, when this is a working bar for a movie, I get some mighty thirsty customers in here. For some reason, they all bunch up at that end of the bar, and I don't know why. Well, maybe they're looking for the sheriff to come through them swinging doors. Anyway, that's where they all get, looking for a drink and hollering. So I've got to get real good about getting the beer down there fast, and over the years I've become an expert. Well, of course it helps if there's someone there to catch it.
Great move, Bill. Go ahead, tell these folks the truth. You was always lucky to get him down the end without hitting somebody.
Oh, doggone it. I wish I'd get through this once without you. Once he shows up, he never quits. Now look, I hear these folks pay good money to come in here and learn something about the movie-making business. They don't need some old moth-eating ghost who won't even show his face, mumbling about every little thing that comes up.
Mumbling? Mumbling? You just afraid I'm going to tell the real stories about what all happened around here over the last 50 years.
Now, look here, you take care of your piano playing and your special effects, and I'll do the storytelling. Thinks he's a better storyteller than me, it ain't
Yeah, you tell stories like you slide them mugs.
Glad I don't have to look at your mug all the time anyway. You old crotchety spook. Piano playing coming from over there before? You see, that's just like old Roscoe. You never know what he's going to do next.
Oh, I know when you say that, partner.
Well, folks, it's the real Western stories that we're going to be dealing with this morning. But a few things to say before we get started.
Quit jawing. Get on with the stories.
Oh, all right, you old spook. Well, first thing we need is a proper atmosphere. And Roscoe, as long as you're here, wherever you are, I'm going to put you to work.
Work, work, work. That's all you ever want.
How about a real Arizona desert storm to put us all in the mood?
Suppose you want the rain and all.
If you're up to it.
Up to it, up to it. I've been in the ghost business since before you were born, you young whippersnapper. Oh, up to it.
Hey, you hear that? That's old Reno, that classic train. Maybe you saw her when you're walking around. I love trains. They make such pretty sounds. You know where she's heading? Right through the pass and on into cow country. Yeah? Hey, that rain looks pretty good there, Roscoe. Just keep it up. Don't touch a thing. It's fine. There goes old Reno. Oh, I love a winter storm, don't you? Golly. Doggone you, Roscoe, that's too much rain. You're going to get these fine people in my saloon all wet. Oh, golly.
You wanted rain, you get rain.
Sometimes you're more trouble than you're worth. Well, anyhow, now that we got the right atmosphere, you kind of have to close your eyes and think of all the Western movies you've seen. Why, you can picture this saloon on the main street of a small town out in cattle country. Now, suppose you were a movie director and you wanted to film a scene of a cowboy tying his horse to the hitching post out there and walking up to them swinging doors. Where would you film that? Here on the sound stage? No, you wouldn't, because that's an outdoor scene, what we call an exterior. And for that, you go down here about a half a block to Kansas Street. And there you'd see the same saloon, only on the outside. Same swinging doors, same windows, but on the outside. And that's where you'd film that exterior scene down there. But there is one scene we always seem to do here on the sound stage itself for every Western movie, and that's the showdown. You know, two fellers, oh, let's call them Travis and McCord. And they just arguing about something. Maybe it's a card game or a pretty girl. Like all you gals out there this morning. Anyway, they gets in a fight and one picks up a chair and busts the other one over the head, and then I gotta toss them both out. But sometimes, sometimes it gets real serious and then there's a gunfight. You know, McCord moves over there and Travis backs up against the wall. And it gets real quiet. And all of a sudden, the quick draw and bam, bam. And it's all over. Well, let me tell you, folks, that quick draw business is mighty tough to do. Now, I don't like to brag, but of course...
Now we get into trouble.
Now, look here. You take care of your piano playing and your special effects, and I'll do the storytelling and demonstrations. Besides, I've been practicing.
I know. I've seen him carry the bodies out.
Don't pay no attention to him. Now for my demonstration. Now, don't any of you folks try this yourself. You see, I'm a trained professional, and it could take you years to get as good as me. Okay? Fine. Okay, now my demonstration. The checks my weapon. That's important. Looks all right. Proper stance. Left foot slightly ahead of the right. Loose hips. Shoulders back, arms relaxed. Okay, I'm all set. Sometimes Roscoe gives me a drum roll here just to add to the drama. Roscoe, he likes to keep me waiting. There it is. Watch this. You're in for a treat. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Roscoe. You folks all right? Well, maybe I do need a little more practicing. But can't you just see Clint Eastwood in a shootout just like that? Well, maybe not just like that. Or Maureen O'Hara minding the boarding house next door. Or maybe Michael Landon buying supplies at the general store for his little house on the Prairie family. And who can ever forget John Wayne, busting through them swinging doors. Oh, I can see him yet today as I have in the past. All those great movies John Wayne made. Rio Bravo was one of my favorites. He had with him in that movie, let's see, Dean Martin and Ricky Nelson and my good old buddy Walter Brennan. I sure miss that old cuss. I miss the Duke too. Seemed like he was a friend to everybody. Oh, say, there's a funny story about John Wayne coming here the first time. It's true. You know, Bob Shelton, he's the fellow that founded old Tucson. He was coming back from town one day when one of the staff said, hey, there's a movie company on the property. So Bob goes looking for him and finds a fellow named Joel. And he said, yeah, we're thinking we might make a Western movie here. And if you got a minute, I think my boss would like to talk to you. So they both moseyed on over by the old mission and they walked up behind a great big feller standing there. And he turns around and it's John Wayne. Well, how would you react? Well, Bob Shelton said, he looked just like the Eiffel Tower. Well, John Wayne starts telling him about all the things he wants to do. Put a second story on a building over there, and a store over here, this and that. And then he looks down at Bob Shelton and said, now, what are you gonna do for me? Well, he looked up and said, well, Mr. Wayne, I got $12 in my pocket, and an old knife, and a broken down Cadillac car, and my wife. You can have anything you want. Yeah, the old Duke laughed at that. Came back here and made Rio Bravo and El Dorado, Rio Lobo. Oh, and McClintock. Oh, that was another of my favorites. There's a scene in there I'll never forget. They had a bunch of Indians, prisoners they was, and they had them locked up in the compound right here on the property. Well, a friend of them Indians, he got himself a load of dynamite. He planted it underneath that compound wall. And boom, he blew a hole in that wall bigger than a boat. Well, them Indians, they scattered out of there. I mean, they flew like quail out of the bush, and they ran for their ponies way over here about a quarter mile. Well, even after they got their ponies, they still had to get out of town. The only way they could do that was to take that far turning beyond Kansas Street and then circle back and come on by here, the windows and the swinging doors, and get going. By golly, you can almost see them out there on the ponies with their bows and their arrows. I think we all better duck. folks, them flaming arrows, they go out all by themselves. Most of the time. Oh, my golly. Oh. Well, there was a sad note to the last show we did. Doggone it, don't happen too often, but some poor fella forgot to do it. Roscoe, I smell smoke. Would you check them front rooms and see if one of them flaming arrows can get the curtains up?
Yeah! Send me to do the dirty work. Not enough that I gotta play the piano for that ungrateful wretch. He expects me to be a fireman. Hey, where'd you put that fire extinguisher?
What's the matter, you blind? I put it right next to that box of dynamite where it'd be safe.
Oh yeah, that makes sense, next to the dynamite. Dynamite?
Where'd everybody go? There you are. Helps to be on your toes when you're out movie set. You know, John Wayne wasn't the only one to make a mark here at old Tucson. Lots of famous names, like Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr., Jack Eland, Jack Palance, Jack Kelly. Oh, and of course, Jacqueline Bissett. Oh, my. And Elizabeth Taylor. Oh, golly. Well, you know what I mean. You know, Michael Landon, he came here the first time to film a couple of episodes of Bonanza. And he liked it so much he came on back to part of his next series, Little House on the Prairie. Michael Landon started as a supporting actor, and then he became a star, and then a producer, and a director, but all that success and fame, he never forgot old Tucson. He always figured some way to come on back here and do more filming. Father Murphy, that was his. And of course, Highway to Heaven. Another thing to remember, not all the local stars were human or had names. Some just had brands. I'm talking cattle in the Western movies, you know. Cattle ranching was big in Arizona and the Southwest. When you had cattle ranching, you had the stampede. Whether you were filming it or in it, the stampede could be fearsome. You know, the cowboys would be trying to keep the herd quiet during a summer storm. And, maybe a little coyote would be howling too and spook them, but you never knew what was going to spook them cows. Flash of lightning or a bolt of thunder. And the result was always the same. 1,000 head of crazed cattle coming right at you. Stampede. It always reminds me of my customers when I tell them the drinks are on the house.
Reminds me of the bunkhouse when the boys found out you was cooking.
And it reminds me of my customers when they first hear your piano playing.
Or the boys down at that end of the bar when you get to sliding beers.
All right. I guess you can tell there ain't too much old Roscoe and I see eye to eye on. Except the Western movies. The best of them even today seem to have everything you could want. Trailblazing, cattle drives, brave frontier women, adventure, romance, and God's country. Good guys, bad guys, and some of the best actors and actresses in the world. Say, there's one scene we gotta do for you. That's the classic fight. You know, a whole barroom of people like this and they're yelling and cussing and hollering for drinks. Maybe getting too rowdy. Some guys looking for a fight. Roscoe, do you suppose you could rustle up a good fight for these folks to take along?
Well, I'm up to it if you are.
What do you think? Good guys over here and the bad guys over there?
And all women, 6 shooters.
Yeah.
That never run out of bullets?
Why not? This is the movies. Okay, now you gotta help me with your imagination. Remember, the good guys, the heroes, are over here. Over there, some of the orneriest, ugliest, nastiest, no count, no good, trouble-making rascals that you ever saw in your entire life. You know doggone well these guys are acting for trouble. and making trouble, and it's just about to happen any time. Behind the bar for all that, folks. You'll have to tell me who won. The bad guys or the good guy. Who said the bad guy? I think it was this you, wasn't it? I'll see you out front after the show. Yeah, the good guy. And that's how it ought to be. Well, I sure hope you enjoyed this quick behind-the-scenes look at Western movie making. If you're on your way home, you hear a cantankerous old voice coming from the back of your car. Be kind to old Roscoe. Tell him to write when he gets work. Hey, God bless you all, and thank you for coming here to see us at the Royal Oak Saloon. You come on back in the time to do the whole thing all over. Thank you so much. You have a lovely day. Take a picture, too, if you want.